Very warm welcome back to everybody. We are now starting our final day, which was obviously the second final round. So we were really excited to have you all with us again.
And California is on the line, as today we are joined by the phenomenal person, the most famous Russian snowboarder, two-time winner of the European Cup, seven-time champion of Russia, master of sport of the international class, and just a beautiful lady, Alena Alyokhina.
Thank you.
First of all, Alena, thank you very much for coming on the show, as you are living in the United States and time difference is almost 12 hours. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
It's really great to have you on the program, and I think it'll be interesting to get some of your insights as well. So first of all, like, how did your journey into snowboarding begin?
Well, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Cool. Well, first of all, thanks for having me again. It's an honor for me. And well, snowboarding happened. I would say I started listening to punk rock music. And then I got into skateboarding. And it seemed to me back then that the culture of skateboarding is very connected to the culture of snowboarding. So that's how I went skiing for the first time in my life. And I saw somebody on the skateboard and I was like, I want that, because it felt like it was very connected.
And if possible, can we go back to the day of 2013, where during commercial shootings you got a serious spinal cord injury, and I think you have been playing the day in your head. And how does the day look like now in your mind?
I wasn't feeling well, but back then I think I'm a very responsible person. So although I wasn't feeling well that day, anybody else would say like, oh, I can't perform today, so I'm not gonna ride today. But I think I was thinking, oh well, I'm here for work. I gotta try, no matter how I'm feeling. And so I think that was my mistake. Yeah, I shouldn't have been riding that day, and I went on the slope, and I just wasn't listening to my body enough, and I didn't hear what my body was.
And even after 7 years, you are still undergoing rehabilitation treatment, right?
Yeah, that's true. Rehabilitation is still my priority every day, because I'm still getting somewhat of a progress, although I'm not supposed to be getting any, but I still see the results of my training. So, I mean, and even if one day, say when I'm 50 years old or like in 30 years or whatever, they come up with a magical solution, like technology, crazy, like magical smart technology that helps me, can help me walk again, I still have to be in a good shape, So, and until then, I'm gonna do, I think I always have to do everything I can. And then it's very important for me to know that I've done everything on my part, and what doesn't depend on me, I'm not even going to be upset about it, because if it doesn't depend on me, why bother being upset about it? But I have to do my part. So I still do rehabilitation every day, and it's a priority still every day.
So like, how did you sort of like glue yourself back together after the injury? And like, how have you sort of come to realize that sort of, you have to overcome this almost on a day-to-day basis?
It's been a long process. It's been a long journey, pieces by pieces. I built myself up together from day one. I knew that I wasn't going to give up, and I knew that, although it's in the moment, it felt like I didn't want to exist. I wanted to die basically, but I knew that I was never going to do anything like that, because, suicide is not it's a never way out. It's never a solution, because it's actually, I think it's a murder of like people who love you. So, or like, and there's always someone who loves you. So it's never a solution. So I never looked at it as an option, although I did feel like I didn't want to live, but I knew from day one I was never going to do it, and I encourage never even to think about it, no matter how dark the times are, because it changes, you know. And I would like, if I could go back now and go to that little girl crying on the floor, you know, in my like bathroom, like thinking that life is over, I would shout in my ears, it will change, you know, because things do change. And I can call myself a happy person now. And yes, I still can't walk, but I have so much going on in my life, and life is so interesting. And life was like super happy before the injury, super unhappy right after the injury, and a couple of years after that, but it never stopped being super interesting. And I think that this interest for like, let's see how it's gonna work. Like, yes, it's crazy, like difficult, challenging task right now. And I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but let's see how I can. So like seeing life as a game really helped me. You know how people at parties, they like hold an orange here, you know, and they like have to, the task is to give it to the next person, or they put like a bag over their feet and jump, although it's like, it's really uncomfortable, but people do it just because they're interested to see how it's gonna work, like, because they're not. So I think the thing that really helped me a lot is like just taking it one day at a time, having my task as like making the best out of today, like not thinking about tomorrow much, because like by little pieces. Yeah, like they say, there is a saying in some language, like you have to eat elephant by pieces. So like meaning that like you have to tackle a big problem by like little pieces. So for today, like every day I would see my task as like making the best out of today, live like the best I can till the nighttime, and go to bed being proud of myself. So that would help me the most, I think. Like seeing it as a game, like a challenge of, hey, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but let's see how I'm gonna do it, you know. But like a little, I had a lot of like life hacks like that helped me, but like little tricks like that.
But even then, you didn't dilly-dally around, and as you speak 4 foreign languages, what is really fascinating, you began teaching, standing in the simulator for hours, and even launched your personal language marathon. Can you please tell us more about it?
Yeah, with pleasure. Thank you for asking. Well, you know, while I was doing sport professionally and I was having a really successful career, I was the best in my country for so many consecutive years. You know, there was nobody like, I felt pretty confident in my position. So but I was studying at the same time at the university, studying languages and literature. And I was thinking, why am I even doing it? I have such a great career, you know, and then later on, I saw why I was doing it, because I started working 4 months into my injury, 3 months into my injury, I think, started teaching languages by Skype. Back then it was so new. People was like, what, online? Now it's our new normal. But back then it was 7 years ago. People were weirded out by that, but still, to me, it was crucial to start working, because although it felt like I had lost it all, you know, losing my career, ability to walk, and moving to a different country, because I had to move to the United States and my whole family was in Russia. So although it felt like I had lost it all, it was important for me to start working, because it showed me how much I still could do. And it changed. It's another thing, like speaking of the things that helped me back in the day, it was another things that helped me a lot, because it helped to switch my focus, you know, to start focusing on the right things, not focus on what I don't have, which is also very, you know, very useful for now with COVID times and everything going on. It's very important to focus on not on what we don't have, or what we can't do, but try to appreciate what we still can do, and focus on what still is left. And that's a lot, actually. And actually, even when you lose an ability to walk in your career and a lot of other things, you still have so much, as it turned out. So starting to work and helped me to realize that I still can do a lot, actually. So I haven't lost it all, and switch my focus to the right things, but also I was able to start spending more time in my like equipment and standing, which was pretty painful, but I was so distracted by my work because I was so focused on the process of teaching that I didn't pay attention to the pain, which allowed me to extend, like to build up the what is it, like sustainability, or what's the best word for it, like to pain. So, and I didn't, like later on, I could stand for hours, thanks to my work, and it wasn't painful anymore. Like I had to go like above the barrier, certain barrier, and then it wasn't painful anymore. So, yeah, it was crucial for me to start working, and then that's why I always encourage people to not. Life is so interesting. Go and explore new things, like try different things, because you never know what you're gonna like. I'll repeat, like as I was doing my snowboarding career, I wasn't sure why I was studying so hard, because it was so hard to combine the two. But then it saved me eventually.
And I think obviously, it's quite a big sort of knock on to suffer such an injury, and to have your life changed, as you said yourself. Like, how did that impact your personality and like your mental health, and like how did you deal with it sort of on a mental health level as well?
Well, as I said, like the times were dark for the first 2 years, and my personal life was adding to it big time. And I was going through a lot. And at that time, it seemed like it was like only getting worse for a while. For the first 2 years, it was getting worse. But I had a list in my phone, like in the first half a year, that list saved me. It was really, the times were so dark that at times I didn't have air to breathe. It seemed like everything was like foggy and dark, how happy and how painful the whole thing physically and mentally at the same time was. But I had that list, and I opened it, and I was just going, from the top to the bottom until something helped me. And there was talking to my best friend on the phone, things like music, listening to music, because it's oftentimes it brings you to different times. Like your task is to get out of this moment, like out of this dark moment. So when you listen to music, it helps you to travel to different times, because it reminds you of better times. And writing journal was very helpful, because it's like a time machine. And as I said, it's very important to remember that it's not gonna always be like this. And journal helps because you like my journal is electronic, so I just scrolled up and saw that my life used to be so happy, so amazing too. And I was like, wait a second, I have to be logical here. If it was so amazing once, and now it's the worst it gets, but I have to be logical and think, well, that it means that it's going to be amazing once again. Like, it couldn't be so amazing and then change forever. Things change, and that's obvious when you look at your journal. And it's a reminder and also a travel machine that helps you to get out of this moment, and remember, like, have some good memories. And it helps you dreaming too, because if you see what your life used to be, and you're like, well, maybe it will change again, and you start dreaming. So journal help big time. Also psychology, there are so many interesting books now, psychology, that's very applicable, like little exercises. I started with like a tiny one, making a list of 3 things in my head that I'm grateful for every night before going to bed. And at times when I couldn't like breathe with my, because how unfair the life felt, but like doing this simple exercise, just forcing myself to find 3 things I'm grateful for every day was a big change. Was like, because you can always actually find 3 things to be grateful for, no matter how like dark life gets. So things like that.
And what does your typical day look like now?
Well, I work a lot. I think I'm a workaholic, but it makes me happy. It inspires me to do more, and I love my work. I teach 4 languages. I work as a model too, not at these weird times, because like I still practice isolation because I want this world to be back to normal as soon as possible. So I spend most of my time at home, actually. Like I haven't been outside in 2 months now. So I work from home. I teach languages. As you said, I have my product, my own like educating product. So I work on that. It's a class that teaches people online for 2 weeks every day. It gives you some portion of knowledge online. And I play a lot of music. I play guitar. I do my vocal warm-ups and have sessions with my coach online, like Vogel, like vocal trainings online. I play a lot of guitar, try to write some new stuff, play a lot of covers for like, so master my skills as a songwriter and as a performer, hoping for the better times to come and when we're back to shows, because up until COVID started, my music career was making me really happy because I was booking a lot of shows and festivals, and it was like this year was supposed to be amazing music wise. Well, I guess it's all postponed. It's not canceled, it's just postponed. I prefer to look at it this way, but I've been working, so it gives me, I see this downtime as an opportunity to master my skills, to become better as a musician as well. And of course, as I said, rehabilitation is still my priority. So I spend a lot of time working out. It's from 2 to 5 hours a day, but every day. Sometimes I work like standing up in my training equipment and stuff. I spend a lot of time with my family. That's the reason why I like self-isolate so strictly, because I see it as time to spend quality time with my family, but I don't want to expose them to anything. So I spend a lot of time at home. And I read a lot. I have a rule to read 3 pages a day. It's never really 3 pages. It always ends up being more, but it's a cool trick to trick yourself into reading, because you're like, it's just 3 pages. It's going to take me like 3 minutes, but you always like end up reading 10 minutes or something. But it's a book a month or more. So that works.
And as you mentioned music, in one of your interviews, you told that crazy how healing music has been for you since the injury, and you got started making music, performing live, and you even have a solo acoustic program. And I know that your performance is scheduled on 23rd of January in Moscow. Maybe you'd like to invite our viewers.
Well, we'll see how the things are going, Yeah, of course, I always love seeing people come to my shows, and I feel very thankful for coming to shows, but we'll see what's happening with the COVID situation. Hopefully it's better, or maybe vaccination, who knows, by then. Yeah, music has been crucial too. First, it was just listening to music. As I said, it was on my list because we've, as kids, we listen to so much music, like as teenagers, we always have music in our ears, headphones. And then growing up with age, we start doing it less for some reason. And it's sad because I have to remind myself to, when I'm cleaning or something, vacuum cleaning, I need to turn on music in my headphones, because it puts you in a different world, like a magical world that brings you in amazing memories and helps you dream, and dreaming is important. And yeah, so we should do it more often. So first, music was just that for me, but my biggest dream in life was always become a musician myself, just be closer to music, because music gave me so much. And it's funny how I've made a cycle, whatever you call it. Like music encouraged me to start skateboarding led me to snowboarding, and then now I oftentimes perform at like snowboard events. We performed in Bali at a surf camp. We performed in Switzerland at the biggest European snowboarding competition. So it's all still connected. I haven't been able to walk, let alone ride for over 7 years. But I still see the same faces, from stage, because it's a lot. Oftentimes it's like a skateboarding event or something like that. So yes, I am really grateful to music, because I think that was crucial, finding myself again in music and being able to express myself. Although I lost something I loved so much, running was my favorite thing in life, and riding all the boards, like snowboarding, skateboarding, surfing. But I still have music left. And so that's again, focusing on the things that you still have. And I still have, and I still can sing, I still can play guitar. And although I don't need to be walking for playing the piano or guitar, it's a little bit more challenging, of course, but it's still possible. So yes, I am very grateful for music in my life.
And obviously, if you're having sort of some more tougher days where you're sort of, maybe not, where it's not as easy to get up, I think we have them all. But what motivates you then? What are sort of the thoughts that are going to your head when it comes to getting yourself up and getting yourself going to start the day?
Well, coffee. I have to say that's a good place to say thanks to coffee, because I really dependent on that, and so it's contract I have. I say mornings are really tough for me. As you said, like darker days, we still have tougher days. Well, every morning is tough for me. Every morning feels like a tougher day. But then as I get going, I have my coffee and I have a contract with myself. Like, okay, I'm going to have that coffee and your mood is going to get better and you got to start moving and start your day. So like every day is pretty tough before coffee for me. And I'm a different person. I feel depressed and all of that. But as soon as I have my coffee, I think it has something to do with my low blood pressure in the morning. So that's why coffee helps so much. And again, like doing little tasks, don't ask for too much, just start with little pieces. Like if you don't know how to solve a bigger problem, and we all have those, just do something in this direction, do something little. Like you don't even know where to start, but start somewhere, do something little in that direction. And that with time, it will get you a little closer, and then you will see more of the options. So yeah, I think I just tell myself, okay, start with something, do the littlest thing. Also, it always helps to start my day with something I can actually finish. It's because I don't know, even things like washing the dishes or brushing your teeth or like showering, it's the thing that you can start and finish, but you feel that you've accomplished something today, and it gives you motivation to keep going. Like, oh, okay, I could accomplish something. So it helps you believe in yourself. And so I start with like little things that I can actually bring to its end, because it motivates me to keep going with like more complicated tasks. So start with the lightest tasks, I think, and like easiest tasks.
Alona, you really inspire with hope and faith only by your presence on this earth, because you are so fragile and beautiful, but you are full of willpower, light, strength, and kindness. And we all need a little motivation from time to time. May you offer some advice that will motivate and inspire everyone?
Well, I think I've given a few. I have to think what, first of all, thank you so much for all these kind words. That's what I love to hear, because I think, well, it means that it's all worth it, like if it could inspire somebody. And it also what keeps me going, I get a dozen of messages every day that I could inspire somebody, and that's what keeps me going, because I know that I can't disappoint, I can't let anybody down now. It's like responsibility, but in a good way, because it helps me. I know that I gotta keep going. So it's like it's mutual. Like this inspiration is mutual after all. And what are other things? Yeah, I think it's very important to know that everything is limited, but in a good way, like that the change is coming. And it's important to remember about it, not only when in dark moments, as I said before, like to remember that times will change, things change. That's just how this world is, and it's not gonna always be that dark. But also it works with good things too. Sometimes we tend not to appreciate what we have. Even with the lockdown, people are so tired of sitting at home. But we need to remember it's not going to be like that forever. Like in 3 years, we'll probably, being back to the hassle every day, going nonstop, like lack of sleep and all that. We're going to remember these days now and be like, oh, it was so cozy at home when I could read a book, or when I could watch a movie, or spend so much time with my family, So we need to remember that this time is limited. It's just a phase. It's going to be over. So we got to make the best out of now and enjoy, because it's not, and it changes so much. This when we remember that there's a limit to that and it's going to be over, we start to appreciate it more for some reason. So try that trick today and you will see what I'm talking about.
And who inspires you? Like, where do you get your inspiration from?
You know, there's it's funny how often we think that we feel ourselves as victims of the circumstance, and it never helped. You're allowed to feel this way, but it never helped anybody. Like it's an illusion that's going to help if we complain, if we feel sorry for ourselves, but it never helped anybody. And the truth is that it's always, you know, there are always people who has got it worse than us. And it's not that, oh, like he has got it worse, so I'm like, of course it's like a sad thing. It's not supposed to, this fact is not supposed to make you feel better, but it helps you not to feel yourself as a victim, you know? I have a few friends. I have an amazing wakeboarder as a friend who used to be the best wakeboarder in the world, and he broke records and did amazing things. And one day his life changed because he broke his neck and he can't move anything below his neck. And on tough days when I think that I feel like get in this horrible sticky victim like position or victim mood, you know, I remember him, and I think that, you know, in comparison with him, I don't have even the right to complain. And so I think people like him inspire me, who got it way worse, but even they don't give up and keep going. And he's writing a book, he's diving, and he's breaking new records, and he's amazing. So I think he inspires me, and people like him. And so I think it's also very important to remember that feeling like a victim never helped anybody. And I have a trick for that too, how to stop being feeling a victim. We all get in this mode again, like it has never helped anybody. And I have a trick. Whenever I feel like one, I try to do something for some other people, like something good, some charity, or just help somebody I know or I don't know, with anybody, or with something, because it makes you feel like you know, you're not a victim. If you can do something for somebody, it means that you can do something. So you're not really a victim if you can help somebody because you have some opportunities. And so it puts you in a different role, you know, from a victim to a savior, you know. And also it does a good thing, but because it actually helps somebody. So it's way better. The result is way better than just sitting there and crying, feeling like you're a victim, because you do something nice for somebody and also feel stronger and stop feeling like victim, because it never helped anybody.
And what will you wish for the participants of this Olympiad?
Well, I recommend everybody. Well, I always, first of all, good luck to everybody. But also, I was thinking about that. What do I want to wish? And I think it's if you win, great, and it's gonna be a very happy day. And of course, I wish the best results and do your best to everyone. But if you don't, then, you know, years pass and you remember your podium, you remember the times when you won, and it's great. And honestly, you don't remember the times when you lose. And I can tell you that. Like, I remember, you know, all the times I won. I have all of my medals and all the other awards. Honestly, I remember I cried sometimes when I didn't get the first place as I wanted, or didn't get on the podium at all. I remember I cried, but back then, and it felt like it was it's the end of the world. Right now, I don't remember any of them. I do remember the podiums and how great it felt, but I don't remember the times when I lost. It just becomes one of those times when you didn't lose, but when you didn't win, but you will have another chance. So don't be too upset if you don't win this time. So it's just, you know, it's just an experience. Take it as experience, and that will help you to win next time. So I see it as that.
And though 7 years later, you still cannot walk, but at the same time, you speak and behave as if you had overcome this ailment. And really, your cheerfulness amazed me. And Alona, please don't lose faith for a miracle. And I am sure that one day it will definitely happen. And we really appreciate you coming on the show here. Many thanks for super motivating interview, for spending your time with us, and for your unconquerable spirit. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello. Do you hear me? Because I don't have sound for some reason.
Hi, Victor, can you hear us?
Yes, hi, Ulrike.
Yeah, perfect.
Now, yes.
Excellent.
Hi, Polina.
Hello.
Hi, Victor. Thank you so much for joining us. So we've got Victor Bologan with us now, and we're really excited to have you join us. Take the time out of your busy schedule, no doubt. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, thank you.
Right. So obviously, I know you've like how did you get involved with chess, and then obviously with FIDE as well?
Two different questions. Okay, chess by my father. He taught me how to play chess, and then he pushed me to go to the chess school, and actually a few times he insisted. So that's mostly thanks to him. And to FIDE, well, there was this elections in 2018, and Arkady Dvorkovich team, they invited me. And they told me, okay, since you speak Spanish, you take care of America in the elections, the whole America continent. So that's more or less in brief.
Perfect. And obviously, you sort of this last year has been quite challenging for all of us, and I think for you guys in particular, like how have you been sort of trying to stay ahead and trying to keep chess going in those quite unusual times?
Yeah, it's a challenge for everybody, for economy, for social part, for society, of course, for health part. But chess community, okay, somehow we adjusted. We were more prepared than any other sport. We were more prepared because already we had a lot of internet competitions, trainings, and communications. So that helped us to all these tools which we developed before that. It helped us to adjust to the situation, and practically, I think we made our major events. Olympiad was a huge success. This anti-COVID project, we had various tournaments as well, and we still continue doing them this year, including the current one. We will talk later about this. So all our meetings went online. We had a few FIDE council meetings, a lot of management board meetings, all of them actually. And now we are already in the middle of General Chess Congress, which also includes the General Assembly. It's also online. So somehow we did well. We did well. It was not an easy. I mean, I think the whole team, the management board, the FIDE council, the commissions worked very well. We had many task forces, for example. So I mean, like merged groups of task force for special things. For now, one of the most important is this online regulations, which we are finalizing now. So it was challenging, but I think we did well, and we have some projects running before that, even this Chess ID project, which will. It's also about digitalization of FIDE, and it goes hand to hand all together. Especially, we see some special good effects now. I mean, this Queen's Gambit movie somehow helped a lot also. So we have many good things to report at this chess congress, which is going on now.
And what is FIDE doing to recognize chess as an Olympic sport? Progress on this issue?
Yeah, we have a special, let's say, program. Okay, last summer we traveled a lot in order to convince the regional, continental Olympic organizations to include sport into their games. So we succeeded in Africa, in African Games. It was in Morocco last summer. It will be in Asian Games in 2022. So 2 out of 4 we have in continental, but also we talked to some other regional, also Olympic organizations to include chess. This is one part. So Arkady Dvorkovich, he's very active here. I also help him as much as I can. Other direction is to have sport recognized by local Olympic committee, and we did some important advance in this direction as well. So there is more Olympic committees, they recognize chess as a sport. This is important. Also, recently we had our presidents of the chess federations becoming member of their Olympic committees, which is also very important, like Venezuela, Colombia, Mexico. We have few more in Asia as well. So, I mean, we are trying to advance from different points of view, but of course, the things that we are in very close collaboration with the Olympic Committee itself. I mean, we have help from them, even including financial. We try to align to all its programs, values. I mean, we especially that helps a lot that our head office now it's in Lausanne. It's in the same building. So, I mean, our office is doing a good job also in Lausanne in order to have this communication much better. So, actually, there is a multifactorial effect of promoting chess on the Olympic movement.
And as you mentioned, Africa, FIDE pays serious attention to the development of chess on this region. And there are chess federations in 47 African countries. What is the point of the development of chess on the African continent?
Yeah, that's of course, it's very challenging. And from one hand, from another hand, it's really, when you see the results, it's really nice to see them. And the African continent, first of all, the way we do it, of course, we have development fund, which drastically increased with the new administration. And even in pandemic times, we still continue supporting the African continent, both African federations and national chess federations and continental events, so the African Chess Confederation. We have a good collaboration with them. And we are working on capacity, on training players, on creating possibilities for them to participate more. There was this capacity building this year. We invited all federations to assist in the last offline event of the FIDE in Abu Dhabi Chess Congress. So we had some training for the federations there, for the administration of those federations. We are in full contact, and now more and more we try to involve the African representatives in different kind of commissions, programs, and it's more activity in the African continent. And as we said, last year we already managed to have very successful, by the way, Asian. It was African. Sorry, it was African Olympic Games, African Games. So chess was part of it, and with many medals, with many participants. I think chess was the most represented out of other sports. So it was more than 25 countries, I suppose. Yeah. So it's a challenge, but we are progressing. But still, we have to work more on this direction, because it's you understand that infrastructure. There are many problems. Even internet connection is a problem there. But okay, maybe we should look for more partners in this African continent. But I know that we have some social programs there as well. So yeah, we do something.
Obviously, you mentioned the Queen's Gambit earlier on in one of your sort of short comments. So did you watch the series, and what did you think of it as well?
Well, actually, I watched the two first episodes. So the point is very simple. I want to see it together with my family, but since I had to travel, I postponed the rest 5. But of course, I know the critics. I know that there is a huge positive impact on the whole society. I mean, people just neighbors, they are coming into me and they're very excited, and their consequences. They want to take their kids to chess. They themselves, they want to play chess. Some of them already play chess, so they want to play more. So there is a lot of enthusiasm. So I think, beside the fact that this is the most viewed serial movie, then there is a huge impact in the society, and only positive. Of course, if you become my wife, she is a ballet dancer and she is a critic, professional critic. Of course, she will find a way what to say from critical point. The critics always will find something. But I want to just say that the movie is made in the very high quality. It's like the quality of a real movie and not a serial. It's very high quality. The actors are playing well, and I think that also it's very important. I think everything is on very high quality. The idea, the actors, the camera, this is all very good. So I mean, and it's a good time. Also, it's very they guessed right. It was a good time to come with some positive. Yeah.
No, that's great, and I think it's definitely great to see how much buzz it's actually created as well. And in how far have you been following, obviously, this particular online Olympiad as well for players with disabilities? Have you been keeping an eye on the games as well?
I'm sorry. I have to apologize, but I'm also this member of the parliament, and I have to assist, especially we are in the middle of chess congress and preparation for this chess congress. But definitely when everything comes down, I will watch the games. And I was last year in Ankara, and I visited the tournament for disabled myself, and and I had a lecture even for them. It was very, very good emotions for me, especially my elder daughter. She is also disabled, so I know how important it is for people with disabilities to have a full life of emotions, of achievements. And I think this Olympiad, I think it's one of the great, very important direction for FIDE, and I've always supported this, and I think our commission is doing a great job. They're very into it, and we have many events, and this I think it's really very, very good what we do. But the games I will watch later.
And you are an author of acclaimed opening manuals such as the Rosolima Sicilian and the Powerful Catalan, and the publications such as Bologan's Rui Lopez for Black and Bologan's Black Weapons in the Open Games, Bologan's King's Indian, and Bologan's Caro-Kann, a modern repertoire for Black, became worldwide bestsellers. In this regard, I would like to ask you, are you planning on writing new books?
Yeah, thank you for the question. It's more or less the same question whether you watch the games. Actually, I'm now, of course, very busy, but until now I wrote 9 books, and I'm planning the 10th book, which will be a little bit different format from the previous one. It will be also about the opening part, but it will be different. So I'm working on this book already together with my colleague Robert Dabo Peranic from Croatia already, I think it's already 4th year, but it's a huge project. But yes, we are in permanent contact, and I think we will, maybe next year we will succeed. So there will be the 10th book, and it will be a special book. Yeah.
And what is the role of FIDE in the implementation of the chess in schools project? And does chess as a compulsory discipline improve the achievement level of pupils?
First of all, FIDE's role, of course, is to assist national chess federations, enthusiasts with materials, with methodology, with trainings, and we are doing so. This year, we created a special merged task force group together with the European Chess Union and FIDE. And invested quite a big amount of money, 40,000 euros, for this perspective, in order to classify and find out all existing methodologies. And at the end of the day, we want to present it to our stakeholders, to the federations, so they can use in their countries much better. But I can tell you that this chess in school project was enormously supported by the previous FIDE administration. You know, there is not always only bets, but I think that was a very good achievement of the previous FIDE administration, of especially of Kirsan Elimzhinov. He was very much into this chess in school, and especially he even supported 3 projects in Moldova here, just as example. This is a good continuation. I mean, the chess in school has already some tradition, some years it's in there. I think almost like at least more than 50% of the countries, they have such programs like chess in school. About compulsory role of chess, I would be, you know, more like should be voluntary. You cannot force kid to do something, especially a game which he doesn't want to play. And there are some examples like Armenia, some regions of Russia where it's compulsory. Before in Soviet Union was, and there was no harm, of course, no harm. But now, you know, they try to give less pressure on kids. And now new system of education, so it's much more difficult to find time for this in this must-do part of the subjects. So chess cannot get into there. In some countries like Armenia, they can do it, and there is a very successful story. But normally, the way we go, it's optional. Like the school, the parents, they choose whether they want chess, and believe me, there are a lot. For example, I live in Qatar now, and many schools, even parents are willing to pay just to have chess classes there. So it's the most, let's say, it's a better way when it comes from the school, from the parents, the initiative. But our task is to provide them with teachers, with trained professors and materials.
Thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate taking the time, obviously, out of a really busy schedule, to sort of to talk a little bit about chess, obviously what chess means to you as well, and where you see FIDE going. So it's we really appreciate you taking the time, Victor. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you so much, Ulrike and Polina, for very good questions. I wish you good luck with the tournament, and it was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we have a very familiar face again with us for the final round today. Hi, Thomas. Thank you so much for joining us again today.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me again. So this is, it's my great pleasure to come again and talk a bit about the games. And it is, your show is so inspiring, especially Aljona and her story of fighting back in life. Very inspiring and a role model for all of us, helping so many people with disability with her story, because you touched a couple of very sensible issues. And yeah, thanks for doing this. And of course, Victor coming, the help of FIDE leadership for our projects is so important. Yeah. Okay, thanks for having me. Let's have a look at the games. Yeah.
Yes, sure. Sure.
So my suggestion is we start with game number 1. So number 1, this is Marcin Taspier versus Stanislav Babarykin. Number 1. So yeah, we see tough game. Babarykin is down to 1 minute only. Yeah, so this is a serious problem. So, but in a way, also the position is difficult now. Taspier, I mean, besides having equal material, Marcin Taspier has set up a really dangerous trap along the D file. And this is not sure how Babarykin will get out of this, especially now he's missing time. Maybe there's a defense in this position, but this position requires some time to think. Easy to blunder here for black. So this is, I would bet on a win for white in this position. So okay, we know that yesterday Russia won 2.5, 1.5, and so Poland has to come back. And let me just, because I was reading regulations about this tiebreak is always good. So of course, I mean, if Poland wins higher, then I mean 3-1 or higher, Poland wins the competition, while any other result like 2-2 or win for Russia, of course, Russia win. The only case is if just Poland equalizes with 2.5, 1.5 win, and there's a set of tiebreakers. And well, in one moment, there will be a winner. So there's a specified list of tiebreaks going on and on and on. So the arbiters really thought some clever way that at the end, some team will emerge victorious. So yeah, okay, here we see still the position of Babarykin down to 18 seconds, yeah. And yeah, a difficult position with pieces are hanging. So I don't know, I mean, yeah, I still stay with my word. I think black is in big trouble in this position. So let's see how Marcin Taspier is solving it. My guess is that he will take some time now, because here we can smell a win for white. So it's worth taking some time. Okay, he moved rather quickly, knight d5, strong move, threatening the check on e7 and mate in 2. And yeah, you see Babarykin really down. Okay, sacrifice the rook for the knight, and now we have a technical position, technical win for white. And now the decision comes, in some moment. Of course, black can defend a couple of moves. So my suggestion is we go away from this game now. I mean, the chances of winning here, I would put higher than 95% for white. Really, black needs a miracle, but I don't believe in this. Miracles are nice, but in chess, it's not always there, yeah? So, yeah, my suggestion.
What if we move to the board number 2?
Yes, board number 2.
Board number 2, yes, Marina Kajdanovic against Marcin Molenda. How does it look?
Just a second. Yeah. Okay, still equal material, equal time. The position also looks pretty much even. Okay, I would prefer black, obviously, a little bit here. But, you know, the decision is not yet made. So, yeah, yeah, tough fight. Obviously, with Marina playing second board, is the biggest rating difference of the match. So Poland hopes on a win from Marcin Molender. But okay, it's not clear yet. Not clear. My feeling is that both sides still have chances, and you know, let's see. I mean, here the decision will come, and of course, this will be a crucial game of the match. Yeah. Shall we move on? Shall we move?
Yes, this game on the board 1 is already finished.
Yeah.
And yes, and the Russian grandmaster, the Russian chess player lost, unfortunately.
Yes. So, yeah. Okay. So, shall we move to board number 3?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, of course.
So board number 3, here, Alexei Smirnov, black, clearly winning. We see in this position, okay, white can resign the check, you know, and also the queen attacks the white rook on c3. So I think, yeah, exactly, white resigned. So this equals the score. Now it's 1-1, and the 2 remaining games are the deciders. Okay, so Russia again in the lead now with 3.5, 2.5, yeah, overall. So let's look at game number 4, because we didn't. Okay, my congratulations to Alexei Smirnov. He's really a strong player. I know him, Alexei. I mean, 2 points in the final. This is the guarantee for the Russian team to be in the lead. So let's have a look at board number 4. Yeah, board number 4. Okay, then it's paling down to 20 seconds, yeah? The position more or less even. Nothing special. Okay, only a few pieces left, but queens are still on board. Queens always means tactical possibilities. So then it's moved queen c4. Yeah. Okay, this position, I think all the results can still happen. And for that reason, obviously, having a better time is actually very nice. In a way, you know, I would always prefer the side with better time in such a position, because here, you know, when there's no clear positional assessment, then it's time always plays a crucial role. And here being down to a few seconds is just not easy. Okay. They repeat moves now. Okay, maybe you noticed, yeah? They both went, yeah, queen goes up and down, and the knight just moves there and back. So this is, yeah, well, hard choice. This is, by the way, this is the situation for the team captain to give an advice. You know, in chess, team captains' roles are very much limited, very much. They cannot tell moves, they cannot make suggestions, they're very limited. But they have the option to tell a player to accept draw or offer a draw. So this is one of the very few things a team captain can do. And obviously in this moment, the player cannot really follow the standing. Yeah. So this is what the captain should tell. And I don't know who should continue. I mean, this of course depends on the situation on board number 2. What I suggest we should go to. Yeah. Shall we open board number 2 for a while?
Well, maybe if we have a brief look at board number 5, actually, obviously, of the Ukraine-Poland match, because I think they are sort of one of the players is down to the last couple of seconds as well. So I think it might be worth having a quick look at that before we then wrap up.
Okay, board number 5, yeah? Board number 5, of course, yeah. So I see it's also 1-1 in the match. And, okay, also two more games to go. So it is, Igor Yamonov, Pavel Pikelny being down to a few seconds, but okay. Bishop ending with pieces on the same side, pawns on the same side. Hard to say. I mean, pawn up is always nice, but in this game or this position, it looks like, you know, white can defend. I mean, there's not yet, you know, a win for black. So this should be a draw, which means Poland 3 is in a must-win situation at the final game. So I don't know how it's actually looking. So shall we wrap up, Ulrike, like you told, or shall we look at the final game of the...
Well, I think it's probably going to continue to be quite tense anyway. And I've just had a quick look at the last game, and both players actually still have quite a bit of time left. So I'm not expecting that game to finish anytime soon. So I think, you know, we'll keep an eye on it ourselves. And then obviously tomorrow we'll find out all about the news. So it'll be really exciting to, I think, sort of see what the final standings will be tomorrow. Thank you so much again, Thomas, for coming on. We really appreciate you making the time.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Okay, it was it was my big honor to come here and to see this very special tournament, and the big fight and the finals are so close to each other. You know, I mean, this is really great teams making the finals. So thanks for having me, and congrats to all the team and all the players.
Thomas, thank you very much. And it was a long journey, and many thanks to everybody for joining us these days. It has been almost 2 weeks of absolutely fascinating chats and interviews. And I believe that this first ever FIDE Online Olympiad for people with disabilities captured imaginations and hearts of everyone. But make sure that you tune in for tomorrow, as we will be back with the closing ceremony of the event. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching.
See you tomorrow.